All right. So thank you so much for agreeing to do this interview to kind of let people know what your experience in therapy has been like and give any tips that you might give to people who are considering therapy, particularly therapy with me. So the first question I have is what led to your decision to seek therapy?
My initial decision was to try to work on a relationship in trouble. Um, and that relationship ended up not panning out, but through my initial couple sessions, I started to discover there's a lot of things that I wanted to work on for myself and any future relationships.
Awesome. Yeah. And is there anything that you had doubts about that led you to not wanting to seek therapy or specifically potentially not wanting to work with me?
Yes, I think therapy for most people has a kind of negative connotation as like, maybe something has to be wrong with you or, you know, for me, I didn't really want to ask for help. So that was kind of like the hesitation. Um, but I was really determined to want to make a change in my relationship and things about myself.
Hmm.
um,
Oh, go
so
ahead.
those were kind of the things that were like holding me back. Or
And had you seen a therapist prior to reaching out to me? I don't remember.
no, I haven't ever seen a therapist before.
Okay. But you have been in the personal growth world for some time, right?
Yeah.
Could you speak to any differences you've noticed between that, like kind of doing personal growth on your own versus having a therapist, since that's kind of a unique perspective that you have?
Yeah. I think, the personal growth is a lot of self discovery, a lot of doing things on your own and working through a lot of your own issues and problems and having um, breakthroughs here and there, and also a lot of repeating the same lessons. What I found through therapy, it's kind of like an accelerated self growth, or having a third party to be able to point things out and kind of let you figure things out while you're working together. It really accelerates the process, and I think there's less chance of repeating certain lessons.
Yeah, you can kind of see your blind spots a little bit better if you've got somebody pointing them out.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Okay. So, what have you found as a result of being in therapy and working with me specifically? Like any results or any new insights, anything um, that you're excited about?
um yeah, I mean, I think the last point of having like a outside perspective or um has really, I guess, opened up a lot of things that were kind of deeper than I realized, and some things that I didn't realize that needed work and care and attention. um and it's just shown me like how many things that I put off or ignore that are internal to like care of my like emotional and mental um, states. And so this work has really helped me pay attention to those things so that I'm not creating more problems, but I'm just solving problems really.
Okay, awesome. What specifically have you liked most about? Oh, wait, no. Was there a moment you knew that you'd made the right choice in therapist or even just in seeking help at all? And if not, that's fine.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I first came across you through Instagram, I believe, and this was years ago before I even thought about doing therapy. And then when the time came for me to seek out relationship therapy, you were the first person that came to mind, and so I scheduled the consultation. And um, I was a little bit concerned about doing it over video chat,
Hmm.
but after the initial consultation and like having the video chat is pretty close to one-on-one, face-to-face, so I could still get like a feel of who you are and what you're bringing to the table, and mostly how comfortable I feel like expressing some very vulnerable things to another person. um, and that level of comfort made me feel like I made the right decision in working with you.
Awesome. Um, what specifically have you liked most about working with me or just therapy in general?
I think the level of ease and comfort that allows me to really go in and um, find these things that are holding me back, whether it's false beliefs or things that I have been having trouble with my whole life. To feel comfortable enough to be able to explore those things so that you can heal them and work on them, I think is the biggest um, benefit.
Awesome. And what would you tell somebody who's never seen a therapist and they're debating if they should seek therapy or not?
I think if you're debating seeking therapy, that you've already made up your mind that you do want to see a therapist, but something is holding you back, whether it's um, shame or fear or whatever it is, and to not be afraid to just take that first step and at least do the consultation, because you can always decide after if that's not for you or it is. But if you're thinking about it, you're wanting to do more.
Yeah. What about people who are thinking, is it worth the investment? Because I think that's another thing, as you were talking, that came up for me is, if they're thinking about it, then they're already probably needing or wanting it. And I think sometimes what holds people back is investing in themselves. Just the thought of like, is it worth it?
Yeah, I definitely had those concerns.
Hmm.
I think investing in yourself is probably the best thing that you can do. Um, it's hard to justify it because you're not using that money at the time, but it's the same thing as anything else. If you get a gym membership or a car or something, you adjust and you make it work. It just becomes part of the things that you need in your life, whether it's for a couple months or a couple years.
Okay, great. And would you recommend working with me? And if so, why?
Yeah, I would definitely recommend to anybody who's seeking um, questions or fears or anything that's around their relationship, if they're single or in a relationship. I know a lot of people have had so many things happen to them with relationships, and I think it's a good place to really get clarity on all those things, questions and healing, and trying to just overall improve how you relate to people.
Awesome. Anything else you want to add before we finish up?
Yeah, I think that therapy can be, life changing. And for me, I was very hesitant, but now after working with you for a while and looking back, it has drastically changed the course of my own personal growth, and um, it's just a big ripple effect on every aspect of my life, I would say.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing, Jay. And this will be really helpful for everyone who's listening.
Great, thank you.
Okay. Bye bye.